Hey everyone, I'm Justin, your editor-in-chief, and welcome back to the Havoc Rundown. Tonight's episode is a little different because this is our end-of-the-year wrap-up for 2025. Instead of bringing on a guest, we want to take a step back and sit down together as a team. This episode is about looking at the year that we have had, both in combat robotics and here on the podcast. We're going to talk about the moments that stood out, things that surprised us, what worked, what didn't, and how the sport has kind of evolved throughout the year. But it's not just about 2025. We're also going to be looking forward. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about what we're going to be doing in 2026, what we mean when we talk about a rebrand, how the website and the podcast have started to work together, all that kind of stuff. We've also opened up the mailbag to hear from all of you about the state of the podcast and the sport, and we'll be getting into some of those questions and comments and kind of answering your inquiries. So this one is meant to feel like a nice, easygoing roundtable, reflective, forward-looking, all that kind of stuff. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get into it. But as always, you all know that I can't do this by myself. So joining me tonight is the entire team, including the man responsible for most of the chaos, the games, and the spreadsheets to somehow turn into fun, our game master, fantasy league wrangler, and resident numbers guy, Ryan Hunter.
I'm a numbers guy? Cool!
Well, Tony's kind of taking that place from you, but we'll get to that. Next up is our journalist and outside-the-box thinker. He's always keeping an eye on what's happening beyond just the bracket and bringing new perspectives into the conversation. It's Thomas Carroll.
I can see. I can fight.
Okay. Also joining us is our community liaison, the voice of our listeners and builders, and the person helping to shape how the community connects with the show, the site, and everything we do. It's Ashley Beckman.
Hi, all.
Also the voice of reason.
Yes, the voice of
Sometimes
reason.
I have to be.
Someone needs to keep us in line.
And finally, the man behind the curtain, the reason the stats we talk about actually exist, and the architect of the Havoc Rundown website and registry. If it involves data, history, or an absurd number of matches, it almost certainly passes through him. It's Tony Baker.
Oh my god. All I have is HTML and brain.
Tony's brain is just made of stats by now. It's just built out of stats. So before we talk about the year as a whole and what we are looking forward to, as usual, we are going to step into Ryan's Game Corner and see what he's brewed for our last game of the year.
All right. Hi, everybody. For our last game of the year, we're going to be playing, well, it's kind of Family Feud game, except you're all the family together. Congratulations. We're playing Family Feud against the house.
Oh, God.
All right. So
Ryan Harvey.
I pulled.
Y'all know how I feel about the house. So.
Well, let's see if you can beat me. So I polled our listeners and asked them to answer 3 questions. I got a variety of answers, and then I took all those answers and I kind of like boiled them down a bit until it got a few outliers, just like Family Feud. Let's see. Basically, we're going to figure out what is the most popular answers to these questions. The way this is going to work is I'm going to give you the question, and then I am going to go down the line, and each of you can give me one answer. We're not playing for points. We're playing to beat the house. If you as a team get more than 3 wrong in the round, the house wins that round.
No.
Uh-oh. House can't win.
All right. So you're playing me. Everybody get it?
Yep.
All right.
Beat Ryan. Got it.
All right.
Always beat Ryan.
Always beat me. So the first question I asked is, what is the most essential tool for a combat robot builder toolkit? Right now, Riverside has conveniently made me a list of everybody's names, and we'll go by that list. So, first of all, Justin, what is the most essential tool for a combat robot builder toolkit?
I mean, if this is not number one up here, then I don't know what is. I'm going to say a screwdriver.
So, screwdrivers are number 2.
Okay.
Oh,
We're on the board.
You are on the board. Tony, what's the most
Some
essential
kind of
tool for
caffeine
combat?
or energy drink.
Unfortunately, Tony, that is the first X for you guys.
no.
We should have had the sound queued up.
Wait, where are the
then-
numbers? Does it say how many numbers for each one?
That was the second most. So
No, but
this
like
is
actual raw
down.
numbers.
Okay.
I have them in a number sheet. I don't have them right now.
Oh,
I can give it to you though,
Yippee.
eventually. All right, Ashley.
I'm
You have
gonna
one wrong.
say
Oh, I should say for audio listeners, there is 6 answers.
A
Or seven.
soldering iron.
soldering iron.
Good answer.
Soldering iron.
Good answer.
Soldering iron is actually, I'm going to count as number 6. Soldering and adhesives. All right, Thomas.
Uh-oh, Thomas.
Uh-oh. Most essential tool for
Yeah.
a combat robot builder toolkit.
Yep.
You got screwdrivers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
screwdrivers and
soldering iron.
drills. I put screwdrivers and drills together.
Oh,
Bit
there's so many
drivers.
tools on people's desks.
So many.
And we've already got the 2 that are always laying out too. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we all are, like that we unplugged.
this is true.
I'm
All
guessing
right, come
that
on,
adhesive-
Thomas.
Does
I wanna know
adhesives
what's-
include tape? If not, then I would say tape.
I would
If
say
it's-
tape is adhesives. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
All right,
I'm not
I'm
going to
I'm gonna go hammer.
hammer. No, that's another X.
No.
Oh,
use it
I did
all
not
the
receive
time.
a single hammer as an answer.
Not a single hammer. Well,
Nope.
everyone that answered this poll is a liar.
Okay.
Maybe they use the
All right. You currently have 2 wrong, and 2 out of 6 answers. Justin.
It's already back to me. Did Tony? Oh yeah, Tony went after
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
The essential tool. What is number 1?
It's gonna be something silly like power on key, except it's a toolkit, not like a
Yeah.
prepared.
Does Allen wrenches fall under screwdriver/bit/drills?
Is that your answer?
Ah,
Well,
Jesus.
that's a question. Does it count?
Does that fall under that category?
I would say it
It
does
must
not
not.
fall. It
That-
does not fall.
Consider it.
It does not fall underneath that category.
Oh,
Okay, then
man.
Allen wrenches.
Allen wrenches are the number 1 answer. Allen keys, hex wrenches.
Man.
Tony.
Say dragon, Tony.
A weapon lock.
Weapon lock.
Builders don't want those.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You as a team have lost this round. The answers, that's 3 wrong. The answers are Allen keys, hex wrenches. Are number 1, screwdrivers, bit drivers, and drills. Are number 2. Number 3, power key.
Man.
Number 4,
That's yeah.
he did, but he didn't answer as power key.
Right.
All right. Number 4 is pliers.
Oh.
Why?
Number 5, the number 1 thing that we unplug,
Battery.
LiPo battery.
battery chargers. And
Trying to give you a hint, Thomas.
number 6,
You didn't pick up
soldering
Oh.
and adhesives. All
I
right,
did
next
not.
round. What is the best snack while robot building?
What?
on it. Oh my! Can I go first?
Yes.
Oh my
What I said.
God.
Yeah, we'll go from Ashley down.
Ashley Woodman first, yeah.
Monster, the number 1 answer,
Is it energy drink?
energy drinks and caffeine.
I was just
Energy
one
drinks
category
coffee.
too early.
I'm not letting me down.
All right. That means Thomas is next.
The best snack while robot building? Chips?
The number 4 answer is chips and nuts.
Woohoo! Yippee!
We're so far perfect on this round, Justin.
I'm gonna say candy.
Candy. So candy wasn't really answered as much, but I am going to give it to you under the fruit snacks because I kind of like bundled a whole bunch. And fruit snacks was the most.
That checks.
Number 5 is fruit snacks. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
candy fruit snacks.
Okay.
Tony,
Um,
what did the people that I surveyed tell me is their favorite thing?
I got another one. Don't worry, Tony.
cookies.
Cookies?
It's going.
Cookies.
No, there are no cookies.
Aw.
No cookies.
Builders hate cookies.
Too many crumbs.
Builders hate cookies.
One of my favorite answers that didn't end up on this survey was whatever NHRL is serving that day.
I was gonna say free, you know.
Yeah.
Free food. That's definitely. Is it my turn again?
Yep.
Slim Jims.
No Slim Jims.
No.
Nope.
No.
Oh no, Ashley.
You have
I-
2 more answers to get on the
Half all
board.
the robot teams in your view. We need the answers. What do they?
Thomas.
What do they have? Okay, you know what? Oh, God, I have an answer that I want to pick, but I don't think it's gonna be
A bride.
a bride.
Pretzels.
Never mind. It's a reference. Never mind.
Best snack while robot building.
There's some listeners that laughed at that.
Okay, I have a question about the chips and nuts answer. When I say
Yeah.
nuts, do they mean from a tree or the metal ones?
No, they're from a tree. They mean nuts. Come on.
So they're not eating nuts and bolts.
Nope.
Seems very robot builder-esque. Oh God, best snack while robot building. And what are the classic snacks? I mean, soda. Is soda a snack? That's
I assume that
possible?
was part of energy drinks. That's why I didn't say
Yeah.
that one. But
Yeah, no soda.
Is
But
cereal
I'm gonna
up
say
there?
that would be up with energy drinks and coffee.
Let's
We'll go
put
back to
energy drinks
Justin.
and coffee.
Justin,
I'm gonna say cereal just because it's the thing that people are snacking on all the time at
See, I
NHRL.
wanted to pick that, but I wasn't
Honestly,
sure.
we didn't get a cereal. I counted that on so no. Once again, you guys don't. How
Water.
you guys lost?
Plus water.
Eating
Number 2 answer. Water.
Oh, come
Should've
on.
picked
So we got energy drinks and coffee, water. Number 3 answer. Donuts and bagels.
Oh.
The other free breakfast food in the pits. All right, let's see if you can all redeem yourself in the last round. We'll try to go quick.
oh boy,
Worst task in the
What is the
pit?
worst? What is the
That's
worst
okay.
task
unfair.
in the pits?
What does this
Wait,
mean?
is this like
you need to
tasks from the
explain
builders?
this.
Rude.
What is the worst task that a builder has to do in the pit?
Checking in with the pit desk. That's my answer.
Like is
That's the
that
worst
like
task.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to explain this. What do you mean by this?
It's all sorts of tasks. It is
Okay, well,
all
I
sorts of
think I
tasks
got
that
this.
happen in the pits
I
for
can probably
builders.
name all
hold
10.
on. So that I'm up first, I think.
Yeah, we'll go with Tony first.
The
Just don't take
battery
Ashley.
watcher.
Bad.
Tony, the number 5 answer, battery charging.
Okay.
Good job.
So like tasks on a team. Like the
I
tasks
finally
that the
got one
team
right.
member-
All
Okay.
sorts of tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of tasks. Like what? That's like when
Ashley.
Alex turns around and says your answer. It's on the task. Like the answer to your
Grinding
question is
away.
in the task.
Grinding a wedge. So people gave me a whole bunch of random ones. I am putting grinding a wedge because it was an example. Grinding a wedge under repairs in mechanical fixes
Whatever. I got it right.
for the number 3 spot. There is one answer that more than half of the survey recipients,
Oh, I
Thinking
know
about
which
it,
one
I
this
think
is.
I might.
Thomas,
It's putting on the top plate.
putting on the top plate is, you guys are doing really well this round, is number 4, putting the top plate on. Number 4.
Incredible.
So good.
Justin, what is the worst task in the pits?
Checking in with the pit desk.
Checking in with the pit desk is, I did not count as an answer.
What?
No. It was answered once, but it wasn't put that way. It was put the other way.
Is that builders love checking in with the pit desk?
Okay, who's next?
Tony.
Me. Let's see.
So that's one wrong. Tony.
The team, like parent, the team mom, the team dad,
I did receive that, but that was not one of the top answers, so I'm not counting that as wrong. Ashley.
Ashley, we got this. Get it.
Soldering.
The number 1 answer, with more than half of the recipients saying the worst task in the bits. Soldering, number 1.
Like soldering?
I
hate the solder.
I hate soldering too, so I'm not gonna lie. That's totally.
That's so weird because I love soldering. It like puts my brain into like this.
That's usually the last thing he does. He hates it.
Oh, I love soldering.
Thomas.
Well, it's gotta be electronics programming.
Electronics programming is not one of the answers.
What?
So that's 2.
Man, so people are gonna be like, yeah, I love when my failsafe doesn't work and I have to go spend 10 minutes figuring that out. What is wrong with you builders? You like all the bad ones and you hate all the good ones.
Justin, back to you.
And we have 2 wrongs. This comes down to me.
Yeah. So far we have soldering, repairs and mechanical fixes, putting the top plate on, and battery charging.
Ordering lunch.
I know this is gonna be wrong, but it's the only thing I can honestly think of right now off the top of my head. Twitch testing.
I am very sorry. Twitch testing wasn't one of the worst tasks in the pits. So this is a game the house has completely taken. I'm very sorry. We'll have to make up for it next year. The house goes into the end of the year.
We need to burn
with
that
a full sweep. The worst tasks in the pits, according to my survey, are number 1, soldering. Number 2, cleaning up after a lipo fire.
What?
That's
With
fair.
more than 6 people saying cleaning up from a lipo fire was their worst task.
We need to have like 3 or 4 builders on, and we need to play pit desk crew, or Havoc Rundown crew versus builders.
Yes. Number 3, repairs and mechanical fixes. Number 4, putting the top plate on. Number 5, charging the battery. Number 6, packing up for the day.
Oh, duh.
Fair. Yep. Okay.
And the very last one with 2 answers, waiting.
Waiting? That's not
Waiting.
a task. That's the absence of a task.
It is the absence of a task. Exactly.
Ryan's cheating.
I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. I put out a nice survey, and all very kind listeners brought the answers back to me, and then I put this together. All right. Well, thank you for playing. I am very sorry that turned out that way, but maybe
No,
next
it's
time we
not.
can play against other
I don't
people.
think he is.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna get a next year. Next year, I'm going to get a blackboard, and I'm going to hang it up behind me, and I'm going to have a check mark for every time the house wins.
Can't wait.
And then after every single game, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to walk away from the camera, put a check under the house, and walk back to my seat.
And I'm going to have a board behind me that has a check mark anytime anyone other than the house wins.
All right.
There we go.
Well, that is the end of the Havoc Rundown Family Feud.
Oh, it's the end for now.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I think that can't be a game that we play against the house. That has to be a game that we play against another team.
Yeah.
Ooh, wait, actually, yeah. We have to have Family Feud, but with us versus like a team of builders.
Yeah, that's what I
like
said.
4 builders on.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Okay, cool. So let us move on. I want to focus on 2025 first. And I wanted to talk about 2025 as far as robotics, and then we'll talk about as far as how we feel about the podcast. So let us talk about the 2025 in review as far as combat robotics is concerned. So we ended the year with a pretty awesome final championships. I keep on wanting to call it finals, and that's not what it's called, and we get yelled at every time we call it finals. But with a championships that went out with some pretty spectacular moments, and it was very awesome to see and be a part of. The 3-pound winner, Pinvictus, was an amazing final fight. The 30-pound winner, I am blanking.
Kazalite.
Yes, Kazalite. And Kazaz's entire run throughout the year, not having fire for the majority of it and still being an amazing control bot, was very cool to see.
And then who won the 12 pounds? I just can't remember who won that 12 pound.
Who won the 12
fight.
pound? I don't remember who won that.
Yeah.
It's escaping me. Who won the 12 pound
Oh
final?
man, I was there. I saw
don't
the
know,
fight.
but I think there might be a golden Brett somewhere in this house.
Wait, what? You stolen from the winner?
Proud of Zach and from Hannah for taking the 12-pound class at the World Championships this year.
I mean, he cut Slam Plan in half. It wasn't just he won. He definitively won in the most definitive way possible. So, that's amazing. I do think that you have to have whoever brings your wedding rings up, you have to have them bring that up in the Brett.
Yes.
The Brett is solid. The thing weighs 11 pounds. Fun fact.
Wow.
Weighed it. It's 11.1 pounds. So you can't open it. It lights up. So it's on display above our TV right now.
In the most viewable place in the entire house.
Yep.
That's awesome.
It's plugged into power and everything with all of Zach's dumpsters and achievements. I mean, not only did he win world championships, but we attended. I mean, he competed at I think 14 different events or something this year. He had an overall record on the year of 53-14 across 3 different robots, winning multiple events in MRCA and, of course, NHRL. So just a fantastic year overall for us in general.
Yeah. I mean, him and you have to feel so extremely proud about that. That's very cool. So that's just seeing Zach do that, just watching that fight. I've watched the recap of that fight quite a few times, and it was very cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get downstairs in time. It was kind of like, oh, this fight is starting. They're like, oh, let's get downstairs. And they're like, oh, the fight's over. We're like, oh, okay. If you say so. So, yeah, I said, definitive.
My favorite part of that fight wasn't the fight even itself. It was the preamble to the fight up in the pits, which I don't think it even was shown at all on the stream, was literally every single member of Team Defective plus members of other teams huddled around Zach, sit at the pit table, getting there was every person had their fingers somewhere on Promhita. It was excellent. Yeah. And then I go over to look and watch and see what's going on with the robot, and Ashley's like, don't you dare tell me that we need to get up. And I'm like, no, you're good. You're fine.
Yeah, I saw like Casper and Alex coming up the stairs, like coming in my direction, and I'm like, oh, we're not doing this right now. No, hold on. And I like literally was like, I'm about to throw up. Like I'm so nervous. But I literally cannot. I mean, Zach has said his thanks, but like everybody that jumped in and helped, everybody that was patient with us. I mean, even Brendan came and checked on me, like having a nervous breakdown in the corner, being like, Ash, it's okay. Jonathan Schultz being like, it's going to be okay. And I was like, it's not going to be okay, guys. It's like, I know it's going to be okay. And the team of people that jumped in to help to basically like make sure that the mistakes that they had seen in the past weren't going to happen again is the reason that we were able to confidently be able to go into that box in that last fight. And like all of the work that Bob did on thinking through that idea, all of the machining that Jake did, like that config and that moment was involved with so many people. And like, it's just crazy to think that without all of those people, it never would have happened. And I'm so grateful for everybody.
Yeah.
It was such a fantastic moment. It really was.
Wild match. The best thing is when the final match of the night ends in just like a very distinctive knockout. Because a lot of times like it ends in like a lame JD and it takes like 10, 15 minutes and everyone's gone. They announce and it's like, yay, it's just builders here. But seeing the crowd just flip out too.
Yeah.
That's always great.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you also have to give credit to Slam Plan. Like, I saw a comment that was like, oh, big wheels are like nothing anymore. It's like, are you kidding me? Slam Plan is like literally one of the greatest bots ever built. And
there was so much negativity on social media about Slam Plan, and Zach stepped up and responded and basically like had a lot of things to say. I mean, going into this year, Zach was 0-6 against big wheels. Like, beating Huge was beating his mentor, somebody that he's been chasing for 15 years. Like, the meaning behind the matches at World Champs meant so much more because of all of the backstories. And, like, everybody was chasing Brendan this year. He came in pretty much undefeated. Like, he was the reigning world champ. Like, that's nothing to be ashamed of. And for people to be online, like, saying negative things about big wheels is completely incorrect. Because, and not for nothing, Huge won second at BattleBots. So don't tell me big wheels don't know what they're doing.
Nah, big wheels are great.
That
but
team
as much as I love
the big wheel, like straight up.
Exactly.
Seeing a big wheel split in half it's like seeing a shooting star.
And kudos to the Huge team for pushing the limits of what Team Defective needed to do.
Absolutely.
To put them on notice and say, hey, like, we can raise the bar to competition too.
I want to see what happens next year. Are they going to have bigger wheels?
At some point, you have to stop playing the who's bigger game, and you just have to come down to drive.
Yep.
Yeah. In the end,
team is very
all ends up coming down to who can drive.
Shoutouts to Brendan, Jonathan Schultz,
he lined up
and
that shot, and he hit that weld perfectly, and that's why Slam Plan caught in half.
Yeah.
Just gotta hit the right spot.
Bingo.
I mean, every field at finals at Champions was crazy. There was not a single bot that didn't deserve to be there 1000%. Every single bot was there, and it means something when you hit that level. So it's just always a good event. It's also like a super fun event for us because it's more like we're not running after 100 builders, so it's easier and better. Yeah.
Okay, so do we want to talk about our thoughts on what has changed as far as our positions, like what has changed in the pit desk, like because a lot of people saw the new setup and what was going on there. So any of the listeners that are not aware, which I believe we've talked to a lot of people about this, for Champs they decided to change it and give us that wall, so we were able to see all the fights going downstairs and everything that was happening downstairs. And they turned the pit desk, and it was a change, and it did what it needed to do. It allowed us to see everything that was going downstairs and send fights a little bit more smoothly and a little bit faster. But I don't think that we like the setup, and there's a lot of changes that are going to be going into 2026 as well. But any other changes around NHRL or any of the other competitions that anybody wants to talk about? Because we did do a whole summer series and talk about some of the other events that went on, some of the other events around the world that some people are just not aware of.
I mean, I know definitely next year that I think we all want to participate more in other events and be able to actually have a better, I feel bad that I don't have a good answer for that, because I haven't really been steeped in the other events quite as much.
Right. Which is something that we're going to be talk about changing.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of 2020. 2025 was supposed to be the year that we took a break, right? Like I moved to Pittsburgh in January, right? So
well, good job.
I moved to Pittsburgh in January and kind of like uprooted everything that I had in Connecticut, and I still attended 20 events this year. I traveled over 14,000 miles in my car, like to all places, not just NHRL, to the Midwest, like to Massachusetts, to New Jersey. Like it's something that I value and appreciate with the smaller events is the like small groups of people that make those events go. And there's a lot of cool people out in the community that don't necessarily get to be seen, and so to be able to hit those local events and like get that one-on-one time. Like I showed up to RCE just randomly standing on the corner, and Glenn's like, "Hey Ashley, you want to call some fights?" Absolutely, Glenn. That's what, like, absolutely. I'm here if you want help. Like if you're doing other things, like I'm happy to jump in. And that's like the biggest thing like right now is those events need volunteers. Like we're getting so big as a community and people want to fight, but the resources to do so are still kind of slim. And so anywhere that they can give time is something that I think is so important going into next year, because it's the only way that this whole thing keeps growing.
Yeah. And Ryan and I experienced our first outside of NHRL because we had been to the one in Hartford where we actually competed, but our first out of Connecticut event.
Oh, I forgot. Yes, we did. We went to Moto this year. It's been a while.
And that same thing happened to us at Motorama. We went with the intention of going and watching fights and being there to just relax and watch Beatles fight. And we showed up and Buffy immediately just went, "Hey, do you guys want to announce fights?" And it's like, okay.
Well, it was kind of like the day or two before. It was like I was talking to her and she was like, "Do you want to work?" And we were like, I guess, sure. And then we show up and we're like, "Oh, what do you need? What should we do?" And we were originally going to be judging, and then we ended up judging and talking and commentating and everything like that, which was super fun. I love commentating. That was really good.
Yeah.
It's like, I think the one thing that I've like when I'm going through and doing all this stuff for the site is like the amount of actual events that are out there. There's probably like 300, 400, 500 different events a year. Like we look at it, it's like, okay, NHRL's got 8, and like that's what everybody seems to be talking about. But it's like there's hundreds and hundreds of events. I think like right now, I think I've got listed like 140 events that are all over the world, like that people are competing in. It's like I'm in Discord channels with people from Australia that they're talking about their competitions and they're having them. And like I was talking to this one kid, he's about to start making a website like that for his high school project. He was trying to consolidate all this stuff for Australia. And it's like, so I'm going to work with him to do some stuff down there. But it's like, these are people all over the world doing this. And it's like, I think we talk about NHRL World Championships and we do get some of the best from the world there, but there's probably 40, 50,000 people competing around the world in this sport. It's to be able to figure out ways to give them a voice and to them show what they're doing, I think is going to be.
Yeah. And we can transition into more of talking about the podcast of 2025 as well. Because I think this year kind of brought about the change of especially going to Motorama and trying to, because we tried to integrate more events and talking about more events this year than NHRL, and a kind of, especially the summer series. I mean, the summer series was just a massive success and showed us that there is more than NHRL out there for us to concentrate on. So that is one of our goals moving forward. Our main goal moving forward is to be a voice of the people of combat robotics as a total, and try and figure out a way to bring more concentration on the sport around the world and not just the sport in Connecticut. So figuring out ways to do that in our Discord, figuring out ways to do that on our website, figuring out ways to do that on the podcast itself is a conversation that we constantly have. And it's born from that summer series. It's born from us having our eyes more opened up to everything else that's out there. So what were some of your favorite parts? I'll go around the table. Some of your favorite parts of episodes or guests or whatever you want to talk about that we've done this year. Tony.
Honestly, I think talking to the guys from Robot Rebellion from England, it was it was really cool to talk to. Like, we talked to some builders and stuff like that, but they're ones who run an event out there. And it's and I've seen the event on YouTube and how they actually promote it and stuff like that, but actually talk to them to see the history and stuff that they had back there in the UK and how it runs, how their system works. I think it was really cool.
Yeah, it was really interesting to be able to interview, like you said, someone that doesn't just experience a sport from the builder point of view, but experiences the point of view of trying to put one of these events on and what it takes to do that, and the history of trying to build up what is, as far as I know, the biggest UK-based competition that's out there. So it's interesting to hear the different perspective and how that runs rule-based, how that runs behind-the-scenes based versus the kind of rule set and things that we do here. So yeah, I like that. I think we got a similar perspective when we talked to Ben from Australia, right?
Australia. Yeah. I think that was my favorite episode. I had to dump all my obscure Australian knowledge.
I bring up all the time the fact that Ben told us that they sometimes use MDF for their floors. I don't know why, because of my own personal connection to that material, using it for construction and knowing what that material is made out of, it just boggles my mind using that for a robot floor with a lot of the spindly metal wheels that especially some of our Beetles have. So cleats. I'm looking for cleats.
Yeah, MDF scares other wood. It's made out of ground up bodies of the other wood. That's like if you were driving on the other wood street, except it was bones.
It's the Pringles of wood.
No, it's worse.
Guys, I took a nap today and I still don't understand. What?
It's Thomas.
It's just, it's the ground up carcass of, imagine if a cow saw ground beef. Think of how terrified it would be. Exactly.
Anybody that doesn't understand.
Imagine if a cow saw ground beef. Okay, there it is. There's
me.
Don't let Thomas go out into a field with
you know what MDF is?
Leave the cows out.
It's MDF.
So MDF stands for medium density fiberboard, and it's literally just sawdust that has been pressed hard enough that it's now its own thing again.
I'm totally with you. Thomas's analogies are
it's beautiful. The word you're looking for is beautiful. Yeah. Ashley, what was your favorite guest or favorite moment that we've had this year?
I think, oh man, first of all, me picking a favorite, never gonna happen.
Real.
But I think one of my favorite overall things was the fantasy league and what it kind of brought as an addition to the podcast, and being able to kind of give people like a different perspective and like different things to pay attention to during events. And like, you know, when you're rooting for the underdogs, hashtag justice for Kratos, like stuff like that.
What?
And it just was so much fun.
Yeah.
I love you forever.
And if we haven't talked about this previously, which I believe we have, but just to bring it up again, when the fantasy league idea first came and I first started writing up the rules for it, it was basically an idea of like, oh, it's going to be me, Tony, Thomas, Ashley, Ryan, and maybe like 3 builders that are going to be interested in doing this. We'll run it, see how much interest there is. And then we opened the floodgates, and within the first like day or two, we had like 25 people signed up, and I was like, okay. And then
this is bigger than we thought.
Yeah, and then Glenn wanted to hop on last minute. We had 27 overall teams.
And we probably could have had at least a half dozen more, like easily.
Hop on Fortnite.
Well, I mean, all year long, especially like close to an event, people would be, and they would hear us talking about it, or they would like see somebody else talking about it, and they would be like, oh, I want to be a part of that. And we were always have to be like, sorry, we started at like the beginning of the year, and this is how it is, and everything. Some of my favorite things has been like builders who have been picked getting super into it too. Like builders who've been picked going like, oh, okay, I'm gonna win for that person, or like being able to like I cheer on the builders that I picked super hard, because I'm like, you're my builder, you're my pick.
You're my boy.
Yeah. You're my boy, Blue. Let's go.
Minus Kratos.
Minus Kratos.
Shout out to Kratos, except you have to stop using that red chain. It breaks every time.
They hyped us so much in that episode. They hyped us so hard for Kratos.
Yep.
I'm gonna send you guys
let them
chain.
down.
I'm gonna sponsor your chain for 2026.
You're never gonna live that down, Ryan. It's gonna
Nope.
It's gonna follow your fantasy league career forever.
Yep.
Forever.
I hope they come back multiple times next year, and you know, you're just forced into picking them every single time.
Trying to ask them.
Yeah.
Is that being put in the rule book for next year?
Nobody's allowed to pick
Yes.
Kratos except
Ryan
Ryan only gets
This is an addendum. Sorry, buddy.
Speaking of the rule book, the rule book has gone through 6 different variations as the year has gone on, with different. So this year was again meant to be a beta year. So we brought those 27, and as Ryan said, people throughout the year have said, you know, I want to be a part, and we had to keep on reminding people this is brand new. It's something we have no idea how to do. We've just kind of like built it as the year went on, and there's been 6 different variations of the rulebooks as the year has gone on, because we've had to change things, and we've tweaked things, with support of the Fantasy League, of support of the teams that we have in our Discord, of course, because we put a lot of stuff up to vote, including literally as we're recording, the poll for how we should do drafts finished up that I put in the Discord. So that is something that we're going to have to figure out how to incorporate and change as well, with the intention of next year having not just our team or multiple leagues, but having a way for anyone that does ask that question, how can I do this? We can say, well, you don't just have to do it with us. Like, here's the rules. You can go do it yourself. Like, get a couple builders together, get a couple teams together, and go run one yourself. Or, hey, run it by yourself. If you want to play, like, here's the framework to do so. So that is the goal.
Also, how to apply it to your own like event. Not even like just NHRL focus.
Yeah, well, that is the other thing that we have to look at the rules for, because I did look, and there are some things we may have to take out, like the getting into the bracket points and some other NHRL specific things to make it more other league friendly, that people can apply this to things outside of NHRL as well. So Yep, that is the goal. I was gonna say Fantasy League. Ashley stole my thing, so.
Wait, no, you can also
it's fine.
say it.
But no, what I wanted to say, and
your thing.
Well, no, it's fine. One of my favorite interviews and people we got to talk to this year was why am I blanking on his name, from the Netherlands?
Ben.
Oh, yes.
Well,
No, that's
from
Australia.
Australia.
Tim.
Yes, Tim from the Netherlands, and
Pronounce his robot
specifically
name.
his story about Lars, the robot collector.
Yes.
That has the museum, and hearing about this legendary figure that buys up all these robot parts, and having that in the back of my head and going, oh, this is a crazy awesome person in the community that buys all these parts and fills his apartment with this. And then, what was it, Ashley, like a month ago, he pops up on the Discord and he's like, oh, I listened to the most recent episode. And I'm like, what do you mean you listened to the most recent?
Justin fangirled out.
Yeah, he actually did.
Wait.
It was, which was crazy because it was like months later at that point.
Yeah.
But he would be willing to come on and have a conversation. So that would be a lot of fun, I think.
Wait, actually, what if we got Lars on the podcast? Oh,
Yeah.
We will. We will have Lars on the podcast this year.
With a virtual tour
wait,
of
this
his
year?
collection.
2026.
Next year. Very soon.
Got him.
Yeah, so that was my favorite.
My favorite this year was probably I know we're all picking. It's kind of funny. We're all mostly picking like the summer series. I think we all loved the summer series. The Brazilians was super fun too. Like the Brazilians, they have just such good personalities. They're always fun to talk to. It's really cool to hear about the stuff that they're doing down there. And they are super into the sport down there. Like the sport is like intense down there. And I love that so much. I would also say that like I was really happy to be able to have Jameson on finally.
Yes.
We've been talking about having Jameson on since like the beginning of the podcast. And I'm going last, so I'm also going to say Kokoto. Kokoto was really fun to have an interview with. Kokoto is always a fun guest.
Kokoto is a real one.
Yes.
That bot lab segment that I tried that did not go as well as I thought I was going to. I do want to try and finagle that and change it a little bit more so it is something we can use when we have those prolific builders on like Kokoto, because the whole mindset behind that was that Kokoto has these crazy awesome out of the box ideas that he makes real, and I wanted to kind of like capture that lightning in a bottle in a segment, and it didn't go as well as I thought it was going to, but I think with a little bit of changes we can bring that and make it something that we bring back every once in a while. Which brings me to my last question as far as 2025 interview of the podcast. What things at the beginning of the year did we start trying that have kind of like solidified themselves and feel like major parts of what we do now on an episode? And I think at the beginning of the year, the Game Corner is something that has kind of exploded. Ryan, do you want to talk about that a little bit?
I mean, Game Corner for me was the original idea was just like, well, it might be fun to like do a game to, like start the episode with a higher energy. And I really enjoy it because I feel like it brings everybody, it's like a pre-interview thing that kind of brings everybody's energy up and also allows us to like learn a little collaboration with our guests and learn the energy of our guest really pretty quickly.
Yep.
And I really enjoy making the games. The games are really fun for me to make. I try to spend a good amount of time and I'm trying to make visuals for most of them nowadays. But yeah, I really love running the games.
It was really
like being the house.
tonight.
Yes.
Yes. well,
I haven't figured out a good way of doing Family Feud. Next time we do it, I will.
Please don't make me ever do a spelling bee ever again.
Cannot promise that.
No.
So
I'm out.
I'm sure you guys remember when we first started the segment that Game Corner kind of took over as far as our icebreaker, and it does work better as an icebreaker. Do you remember what our original icebreaker was?
I missed
the superhero.
Our superhero icebreaker question. Okay, Syrup Man and Sam. Like I do kind of miss it.
Shout out to Syrup Man.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of phase that out. We can figure out
True
a way
Canadian
to
hero.
we could figure out a way to phase that in. I had like a pantheon going at one point. But yeah, the Game Corner kind of took that over as more of a icebreaker, more of an involved icebreaker. So, and then the mailbag, I believe we started the mailbag this year, or at least the mailbag exploded into something more than it ever was before. So the mailbag has been extremely successful this year, giving us a lot of questions that we would not have thought of, more from a different perspective than maybe ours, that we were able to ask our guests and get some pretty in-depth, awesome answers from too. So those kind of evolved our interviews into a place where there's a bunch of different angles that we can have guests dig into.
Shout out to the postal workers that have to go through all that mail and deliver it. I could not do that.
No, do you not listen to the episode back? It's a voicemail.
No, it's real mail. They're typing this up, they're printing it out, and they're mailing it in. Oh, wait, actually,
Okay.
if anyone wants to send a physical letter to have their mailbag, just send me a DM.
Send him a DM.
Physical letters, send him a DM.
No, I'll give you an address to send it to. Now, it'll have to be like 2 weeks in advance of the episode, so you just have to ask a question that you hope is going to be relevant. But I don't know, it'd be fun.
And then, and then Thomas can unfurl the paper and read it like a scroll.
Exactly, a scroll.
I challenge you next year, Thomas, to get one.
Oh, it'll happen. I will send you. I'll give you a free stamp at NHRL in order to someone to do this.
I love that. I am absolutely all for that.
Yeah, it's gonna go through your post office somehow.
You have to read it like it's a proclamation too. It's just like Kokoto. I only use Kokoto because I think Kokoto is one of our most asked, our listener who asked the most questions.
Everybody's got a question for Kokoto.
I think it's between him and Nick were the two that asked the most questions.
So. Oh yeah, they were always asking questions. It wasn't in a fight like who was going to be first for a bit.
Yeah, and then Nick completely forgot one episode.
Yeah.
How could?
So before we get to the mailbag, let's talk about moving forward. We talked about some of our ideas and expanding, and we've kind of touched on the rebrand a little bit, but I wanted to get your guys' feelings and talk a little bit more about what that actually means. So when we... and I'll answer Tim's question. So Tim did ask a mailbag question, and I told him that I'll answer this, and I think this is a more appropriate time to answer it. But Tim did ask, given the rebrand, do we feel tethered by the Havoc part of the Rundown name? And when we first started this podcast, the purpose was to cover NHRL events as a side-by-side with Behind the Bots, and kind of like a sister podcast with Behind the Bots, and do more of the builder interview where they were more of the fight rundown kind of stuff, which is why we took the Havoc part of, the Havoc that they use, and we did Havoc Rundown, and that was the original purpose. And as we rebrand and move forward and talk about more events other than NHRL and kind of expand outside of that, we don't look at at least I don't look at the Havoc as a tether to that, because NHRL only uses Havoc every once in a while. It is not like, they say House of Havoc every once in a while. Like it's not their specific word. And we look at Havoc as a word that describes combat robotics in general. Yes. And it describes what goes on inside of these boxes. It is 3 minutes, or some competitions are less 3 minutes, but 3 minutes of organized Havoc. and we are here to cover the havoc of combat robotics and tell the stories of the people that do that havoc and control that havoc. So that is kind of where we come from with that. So we are taking that word in our own direction and don't see it as a connection or necessary anchor to any specific thing. At least that's where I'm coming from. If anybody wants to chime in with their own thoughts on that.
It's all the havoc of the pits.
I think I would be upset if we dropped the havoc, because deep down every time I giggle that Ryan wants to spell it with a K.
I do spell it with a K. And actually, I don't think I ever explained it as a thing for my name, my team name for the
Your bot?
I'm blanking. No, my team name for fantasy was Havoc with a K, was Team Havoc with a K. I never explained it as a joke, but the joke was that I always spell Havoc with a K. And even when I have to put in a website name or something like that, I still put in Havoc with a K all the goddamn time. I think rebranding, our rebranding, what we're talking about is more of along the lines of what our focus will be, and really our focus on NHRL specifically changing to focus on everything broadly. And I think renaming at this point would be kind of hard too. Right. Because I think we're kind of known as a Havoc Rundown already, and I don't even know what name we would want at this point.
I like Havoc. It's it's the piece of everything. It's the 3 minutes in the cage. It's the Havoc in the pits. It's the night before when you're trying to get the bot to go and nothing is going right. It's it encompasses everything. So it's I like the name Havoc. I think it's a really cool name. So it's right.
Especially Jimmy Havoc.
Yes,
exactly. We have Jimmy Havoc, which our little mascot.
That's what I wanted to go into. We have a new team member. Listeners will be start hearing from him more often on the Discord. And he is in charge of our email as well. So that is the Jimmy Havoc at havocrundown.com. So if you send an email, that is who you're sending an email to. I believe Julian got into a fight with him the other day.
Yeah, Julian said his potato salad wasn't very good.
So that is Jimmy Havoc. That is the little dude that you see in our logo. So he is another change. And yeah, we're changing things up going into New Year. As far as changing the format itself, I don't think we're going to be making any major changes to how episodes are laid out. I think we have a pretty good flow. We bring in new segments every once in a while, but we have our core intro, game corner, 5 in Focus is going to stay, because I think the 5 in Focus is pretty solid when we have a guest on. And then the mailbag covers any questions that we don't ask the guest. So I think those format things aren't going to change. So everything you love about the Havoc Rundown is not going to change as far as the format anything. We're just changing our focus and trying to make our own brand, make our own path, as it was. So, and one part
make our own way in the world.
This is all about that. It's you can go your own way.
Yes. One part of that path is the website, and I want to send it over to Tony for a minute so he can tell everyone what has gone into making it, what you can do on it, and what his future thoughts are of it, because he is the true architect behind what is now HavocRundown.com.
So when I started, we had a little bit of a meeting, and one of the things comes up, and it's we should have a website. I'm like, okay, that's right up my alley. Let's do this. And I'm like, all right, I want to make a website that would rival MLB and the major sports thing. So I actually started looking at motorsports, because I think that would have been the closest to what combat robotics is really like. So I designed a website to take in that respect, to bring all of the stats and all of the events and everything else, to make it a hub for our sports. So that's what HavocRundown.com is really, my vision of it is it is the hub for all of combat robotics. And that's my goal in it. It's like we're going to have news articles on a regular basis. We're doing builder interviews that we're going to be posting up every week. We're going to have event recaps put up there. We have all of our podcasts. We have Behind the Bots and our podcasts up there as well. Right now, I have about 140 events listed on our website. I'm scouring Facebook events. I'm scouring the web. Like anywhere these events show up, I'm going to be able to find them and be able to post them. So you have one place to be able to go to get these events. And yes, I'm pulling events from Robot Combat events, their website as well, because they have a ton of them that people post up there as well. So we'll have access to those. And the registration link will take you right back to their website. Some of the cool features that most other sites don't have, we have Havoc TV. I have an AI bot that actually scours YouTube to find the like little obscure videos and stuff like that people post, just to give them highlights and everything else. So you can go, it's basically your own little Netflix for combat robotics.
And it's free.
And it's free. It is. It's awesome. We have our wonderful games. We have Ryan's Game Corner that's up there. We have Robot Hangman right now, and Heavier, or which is Heavier, so that you guys can play and have fun with. And we will definitely have more games. We're going to work with Ryan to get that up there. But
yeah, now I'm going to have to work doubly as hard to actually make real games for you people, and not like just go like, okay, we're just going to go on the website right now, and we can just play on the website.
But I think the big thing that I spent probably the vast majority of my time doing is the Havoc registry. Currently, we have about 17,000 bots, and these are bots from 1994 till today in our database.
1994. That's older.
1994. That is old. I was still in high school in 1994. Like it's, and we have about 57,000 matches that are in this database. So I actually resurrected the bot rank website, which I didn't even know existed up until a few days ago. So up until 2020, there was actually a website called Bot Rank that had all these matches and everything else, and then it actually did, very similar to what I'm doing with the stats, built it. And it crashed in 2020. It literally just, like, the server crashed and there was no way to recover it. But Web Archive actually has their Wayback Machine, so you can go back. So I went back about a couple months before it crashed, and they had an image of it. And I scraped all that information and put it into our database. So we have literally tens of thousands of matches going back to 1994 now in our database.
Including the GOAT himself, if you want to tell people the fun facts about Jameson.
Jameson GOAT's record is absolutely insane. He's got a 75% win record, and I think he's got 400 wins. Hold on a second. Let me pull up Jameson GOAT's record.
Yeah, see, the server didn't crash just all of a sudden. JMO didn't want to know people to know.
Yeah, nobody know how much.
He took that server out. He sent Silent Spring, Psycho, and Megatron to the server and just smashed it.
So Jameson's GO records right now is 436 and 144. He's had 580 matches. It is utterly insane with a 75% win rate.
Yeah.
So, along with the Havoc registry, though, I've developed my own ranking system. We're using a Gecko or Glyco 2 ranking system where it actually looks at every single match, goes through it, and builds up a rank. So we have bot ranks for every single person that's competing, and you can literally see where you rank in terms of the world at this point. So, it's
and that bot
only
rank
going to keep growing.
That bot rank starts at 1994, right?
Yeah. Yep. It goes all the way back.
Nuts. That's nuts.
So I literally rebuilt it today, and it processed 57,000 matches in about 10,000 bots that had matches assigned to them. I think it took my computer about an hour to go through and do it all.
So can we make like a new calendar, like before combat robotics, after combat robotics?
So it's like it's utterly insane. Like right now, our top ranked 3-pound bot is Warhard.
So
all those Texas matches.
Yeah, the Texas matches really popped up a lot of them. Yeah.
So Thomas, I was born in 1988 BCR. That's what you're saying?
Yeah. No. You have to. So you were 6.
So 1994 BCR. Was the first Robo Wars that I was able to find. So,
let's think back to Jeopardy. Was that the first match?
No, I think it was 1989 or something like that.
It was It was 1989 at Dragon Con.
Yeah. So there's still further ones out. I gotta find.
You gotta find the Dragon Con data. Find the lost Dragon Con data.
As crazy as it sounds, I have an actual email into the person who runs those, and I'm hoping to hear back from them. Yep, the ones from Atlanta.
Which is something that I also want to bring up, is that this is an ongoing list. It's an ongoing registry that is constantly changing, constantly updating. Tony is putting a ton of work into it. And if you are listening and you are looking for a robot and you see any kind of inaccuracies, we have a Discord. We have a full bug thread on our Discord.
Let me know.
And you can send an email if you want to Jimmy Havoc at havocrundown.com. And we do not require you to fix your own things, which is an inaccuracy that was pointed out in a previous communication. If you send us that there's something inaccurate, we will work on fixing it and get it fixed.
And if you have events you want added, I take data.
Yes.
I take data on spreadsheets, pictures of notebooks. Whatever you have it, I will take it and import it.
I want your data.
Exactly. The more data I have, the better this website's going to be.
Yes. And I think we've also talked about things in the future, such as like streaming competitions, so people don't have to scour to find live competitions and other crazy things that we've want to do with this site, including like you want to do a whole social media, not a social media, a whole like social page for builders.
Yeah, so right now it's built. It's there. If you have a team, you can actually set up your thing and post videos. You can post your images and stuff up there, builder diaries. It'll update it'll tell you when your bots are updated and everything else on your feed. And each one will have like an actual URL so you can link people to it. So it's not like it's like blocked off. You have to like log in. It's completely open. You can actually put it to your Discord and everything else. I'm going to do more with that. I'm probably going to have like a social feed on the front page. So this way, like it'll scroll through the most common or most recent stuff like that. So there'll be more with that coming. But my goal is to make it the social and community hub for combat robotics. Like everything's going to go right through us.
Cool. Okay, so before we get too far in, let us switch over because we do have a couple questions. So let's switch over to the listener mailbag.
You've reached the voicemail of
the Havoc Rundown.
Please leave your message after the tone.
We have a couple answers.
So Tim popped up two different things in our mailbag. We've already answered one of them. So we're going to skip Tim's first thing because he was greedy and give us two things instead of one.
Tim.
So, Tim, you only get one, which I'll read your second one as your one. So the second one is from Shay, your mom. Apparently we were saying it wrong. We apologize, Shay. I was saying it as Che before. It is Shay. Right? Shay. S-H-E-A is how it's pronounced. So, apologize for that. We don't like getting pronunciations wrong. So if we ever pronounce anything wrong, then we want to pronounce it the correct way.
We will give Justin 20 lashes. Don't worry.
Yes. Yeah, it's an add-on to the other ones that I have. Trust me.
Yeah, he's already got
mine
two
and
eyelashes.
mine and impulsal. So
he has to write them 20 times on a billboard every time on a blackboard.
So Shay says, hey, Havoc Rundown team, I am so grateful to have found this community as a subset of the greater sport and family that has meant so much to us. Thank you for the time and effort and creativity you have invested here. What has been one of your favorite parts of a surprising outcome of being part of this team and journey of the Havoc Rundown? So I will send this around. I will say for mine is just the overwhelming support that we've gotten back and people that are actually listening. And when we first started this, we weren't sure if people were actually going to want to listen to us talk. and it turns out that people do. So that is my most surprising thing. Anybody else have anything?
Yeah, I was caught off guard when at this last the championship, one of the builders from the emulsifier team, Bots FC, he was like, "Wait, are you Thomas from the podcast? I recognize your voice." I'm like Bots FC, they are the team that shows up. They don't really talk to anyone unless you talk to them. They're working on their bot. They come in, they get the trophy, and then they go home. They're not like they're just such a serious team. And to just out of nowhere, hear one of them say, "Oh yeah, I listen to you guys' podcast." I'm thinking, "Oh yeah, it's just a little silly podcast that we do with stupid games," and here they are listening to it. Like, yeah, I don't know. That was pretty cool. So,
well, I had like a similar thing kind of happen to me at World Champs, and I wasn't able to be on for the Richard interview, but Richard actually came up to me at Champs, and he was like, "Hey, I've gotten a lot of positive builder feedback since I was able to have a conversation, and like now people are a little bit more confident in who I am as a person and not that I'm just some like random guy." And like he was grateful like to be able to have a chance to kind of share that. And so it was cool, especially like for me, to not be able to be a part of it, but to still get that like incredible feedback that people are listening, people are learning, and they think it's a cool thing.
Yeah, I think that the coolest thing that I've got out of this is like I get to talk to people I've seen on TV and like compete, like the interview with Jameson Go. It's like I never in a million years thought I would be able to interview him and actually talk to him else and like meet him in person, actually have conversations with him. Like just to realize how down to earth all these people really are, and it's like, and how much they love the sport and stuff like that. It's like, it's really cool to be a part of this community. That's the biggest thing that I get out of it.
So,
are pretty cool.
So just in the space of Shay's question as well, I did open up Spotify for creators just to look at the stats really quick, and they do have a Spotify Wrapped for creators. Apparently, we've had a 311% increase in new audience from last year, which is insane. 60% increase in total listening time for this year. It's just insane stats that we thank everyone for. It's very cool.
I just love being part of this community and actually feeling like part. I mean, like, it's sometimes we've been like, when we first started like doing like pit test stuff and like, we never really felt a part of the community too much. We kind of were like bad guys in the community for a little while. And now as part of the podcast and being able to do this and like do this as part of the community. And really, I mean, like we do this because we love it, not because nobody's paying us. We're paying to do this. We're paying to do the podcast. And the reason we do it is because it's like, oh no, I love every single one of these builders. Being able to interface with a builder, no matter if it's on the podcast or like anytime meeting anybody, is my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah,
and
except for that one builder.
Yeah, that one builder I don't ever want to interact with again.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
What was that again?
So I will get to Tim's other question now. I'd love to hear more about whatever community engagement plans you're willing to leak, upcoming site stuff, which we talked about, intended direction for the new site and brand, which we talked about, plans for future fantasy league stuff, which we've talked about. You're doing a ton of new things, but I'd love to hear a cohesive direction for your future intentions and how we can help make that vision a reality. So I wanted to read this specifically for that last part. So the future fantasy league things we've kind of talked about, but the how can we help make that vision a reality? And the reason I wanted to read this is because for me at least, the answer to that question is to share this with as many of builders and as much of the community as possible, because that is kind of what is going to propel us forward, is more people listening, more people engaging, more people being on the site, more people being on the Discord. I mean, we can talk about our plans for like Patreon and stuff all day and merch and that kind of stuff. That is definitely going to help if anybody wants to buy merch when we start bringing that out, and our Patreon and helping offset some of that stuff. But the real thing is spreading us. That sounds weird. Spreading the podcast.
Spread us.
Christmas cheer.
Because it is when we started talking about Fantasy League in the NHRL Discord, we got a lot of people that came in. I mean, I don't think they have a Discord wrapped, at least that I know of, but I'm sure our Discord grew like probably 300% this year as well, because we went from like 20 users to I think we have well over almost 200, or maybe a little over 100 now, something like that.
A major reason why that grew is because of the Fantasy League, because people heard about the Fantasy League and they wanted to be involved in it, and that's how it grew. It is a lot of the Discord was some of the podcasts, and a lot of Fantasy League people wanted to keep up with it.
163. We have 163 members at the moment, which is crazy. So. But yeah, spreading word about the podcast, spread around our website, spread around our wherever you listen to us. Right now, I think it's YouTube, Spotify, and Apple are the three places. I mean, if anybody wants us to be on anywhere else, we can. It just, podcasts are not listened to as widely as they were before, so I don't have us on those other places, but the YouTube thing is something we're also going to be moving forward with and doing a lot more of. All of our episodes moving forward are going to be on YouTube. We're going to be trying to do some interviews when we go to other places, other competitions that we can put on YouTube, and some other videos and some other stuff like that. So that's another thing that we're going to do moving forward. So
also,
hopefully that answers your question, Tim.
Ever listened to an actual podcast? I don't mean these fake podcasts. I mean, in the Apple iTunes store, went to the podcast section, downloaded and put it onto an iPod. If you've listened to an actual podcast, just ping me in the Discord and let me know.
Although you know what would really
their origins are.
You know what would really help, Tim? You could come to me and hand me $100. Just hand me $100. That would help. That would help. I promise it would go into podcast stuff. I promise.
Where did that come from?
All right, so I'm really simple, and the whole community. I just want your data. Just give me your data. More data.
That's so dirty. Give me your data.
Give it all.
Put the data in the bag.
Okay, so we have three more that I want to get through before we end, and Thomas has something he wants to do at the end. So the next one's from Michael from Team Pandemonium from Sag Beetlebot. He says, "Hey everyone, what are people's perspectives on having two leagues? How will the line get drawn with current builders? How would a builder go from one league to the other?" I'm assuming he's talking about the Pro League, right? The regular league and the Pro League for NHRL.
Yes.
I don't know if I really...
unclear. Like, I think that until we see, like, how it affects events or registration or, like, stuff like that, I mean, for right now, I just think it's a lot of speculation.
Yeah. No, it's really simple. So first you have to enter the Havoc Academy where you fight Arab kits. And then after that, you level up to the freestyle. If you get enough points, you enter the Open League where you have to win 12 fights against Jameson Go, which brings you into the XP plus multiplier section. Then you work up into the pyramid where you do a series of different tasks. It's like it's kind of like Legends: The Hidden Temple. You have to get past the Shrine of the Silver Monkey and the Temple Guards. Only if you make it through that do you advance to the part where you actually get to fight robots, like regular robots, not the Arab
so you have to like physically fight Jameson Go 12 times?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
glad that's now. Perfect.
Oh, no, otherwise nobody would get past.
Got it.
No, you have to like, physically fight him.
Physically fight Jameson. All right.
James not agreed to this, by the way.
Understood.
I will say, we are not affiliated with NHRO at all, but if Gil wants our ranking system, I mean, we do have all of the bots ranked if they want to make the Pro League. We do have a ranking system for the entire world, just saying.
Can I get just a little spicy here? Is it okay? Can I get a little spicy? Okay.
Yes.
Way past my...
Here's the reality. Here's the reality. We are no closer to real Pro League than we were 3 months ago. We're not. The answer is we're not. Just because we were given, just because like there was something announced. They announced Pro League a year or two ago. Like, what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything until it's a thing, and we haven't gotten any information, real information about it. So it's just
college league. It's going on the college league.
We can have
it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist until it exists, and at this point, like it's only like a promise of a pro league. But even then, what does that pro league mean? Because how do you define a pro league?
Yeah, there's not enough definition between to say anything. Like, I mean, we're here for the sport. We're here to see what happens. We'll cover it regardless. But like for now, there's nothing to say, in my opinion.
I'm here for the ride.
In all honesty, the only difference between a pro league and an amateur setup is money. So unless the pro league is coming with money, it isn't a pro league, period.
I mean, that's the real question here, is because we're only talking about NHRL. Once again, there's thousands and thousands of there's all these other leagues all around the world. Let's be realistic about it. There's all these leagues around the world. We're talking about Pro League NHRL. So the question is NHRL actually going to have buy-in to that pro league, and what is that going to look like? Is it just going to look like, oh, these are the builders that we are going to define as pro, and those are the builders that we give a free, like, that are freely into this tournament that we define as the pro league, that like we get to gatekeep? Like, how does NHRL define a pro? Is that the top 16 robots? Is that the top 16 robots willing to compete? That event?
The willing to compete part is...
Yeah. Because let's be realistic. Not everybody can jump into... And nobody is making combat robotics their whole like... No one's making so much money as a builder that they are a pro at this point. The only people really making money off of combat robotics is the people who sell the stores, and that's it. And I mean, like, I don't think Seth and I don't think Peter are really making like that much money to really be able to be like, oh yeah, I'm becoming a millionaire off of... Nobody's becoming a millionaire off of this right now. So, like, what is it? I don't understand. And I mean, like, I fully believe that people deserve to be called a pro, because people, especially like the top builders in the sport, deserve to be recognized as the top builders in the sport and be raised to a higher level. 1000%. But like, if it just means that those 16 people aren't going to compete with everybody else in the open tournament on a regular tournament day, and they just have their own thing, and then everybody that competed in the open tournament doesn't get to compete in the final like fights, and everybody that's been waiting all day gets to fight in the pro league. Like, I don't understand what it is, and we'll figure it out when we get data, but I don't know.
I've actually got some secret intel. It's you ever play Dark Souls?
No.
So, the top 16 are the enemies, and you just have to go and fight them all.
So the funniest part about this right now is when Thomas was saying that, he was like out of his camera angle and all we saw was like the back of his head. So it looks like one of those weird like 2020 interviews where the person did not want to be seen. They only want to be heard. Like he was actually telling secret info.
Oh, this is getting close
like some kind of combat robotics deep throat.
I want Jameson Go to be able to quit his job and just make money at combat robotics.
Right.
That's what I want. I want Jameson Go to have a moral dilemma about what huge conglomerate sponsors his robots. That's what I want.
This episode is brought to you by...
Hey, don't even, because you know.
Exxon Mobil sponsoring Megatron. Woo!
Yeah. No, it's gonna be like sports betting and predictive markets. That's what NHL is gonna be run by in the next.
Years.
Just get ready.
What is it? DraftKings?
No,
actually, no.
Sloshy.
DraftKings would be sponsoring us, right?
Yeah.
How many people are going to say just putting my top plate on during the event?
I've got 2 more questions left. One of them we already kind of answered. So Patrick from Sad Octopus and Under Destruction says the website and brand is changing. There are plenty of changes to the podcast itself, format, new segments. We already answered this. The format, no. We like how the format is. New segments, yes. We're always coming up with new segments all the time. Things we want to try out. The staple segments that we have are not going to go away because we like those, but we're always trying to make the content that we give you better. So if we can find new segments and new fun things to do, then yeah, we'll introduce new things. So, but as a format itself, no, we're not changing anything about the podcast. And then the last one comes from William Marchese, right? I said that right because that's another name that I was saying wrong that I wanted to pronounce. Ashley's giving me a big thumbs up. Thank you.
Proud of you.
William Adamant Barrage.
Stop it, Ryan.
He says the online space for combat robotics certainly has room to grow. What type of content would you like to see produced from the people who run events and from people who compete and from fans?
I want to see Bob Ellison make more YouTube videos.
Yes.
So we have the Havoc TV. And the whole purpose for the Havoc TV was because I know for me trying to find that YouTube is a slog of videos now. Back in the day, it was a much smaller thing. It was easier to find things. The more that it goes on and the more slop that there is that's on YouTube, and I'm not calling any builder content slop. I'm calling the other stuff that shows up. You know what videos I'm calling slop.
It's really hard to find stuff.
Spider-Man
yes.
Elsa.
So the more content that builders and fans and combat robotics can put out there, the more that we can highlight and the more that we can show. So that's kind of the idea behind the Havoc TV, was being able to be a filter for that content so that you don't have to filter it yourself. So I would love to see more content from everything, and more content from events, from little events. If they can stream things, and we can work on giving them a place to stream too, so they don't, again, get lost in the sauce. We would love to be that place for people to watch live events. Yeah.
So here's
Robot
another
Twitch,
great
yes.
Here's another great thing that we need actually your guys' help with. We need followers on YouTube, because we need a certain number of followers to actually trigger to be able to do live events.
Yes.
So that means if we hit that level, you could stream directly on our YouTube page, which we can then post on our site. So there is ways we can do it. So we need followers on our YouTube page, which is linked on our website as well. It's right up at the top.
Which goes back again to the answer I gave Tim of more people being aware and more people listening and more people watching. That's how everyone can really help. So, okay, let's get to our last thing. So that was the mailbag. And speaking of new segments, we wanted to try something else on our last episode. So this is the stat of the week, I think is how you want to do this, Thomas, Tony. You guys wanted to do like a stat/fact of the week.
Yeah, well, I was gonna have the words from. Wait, what was it? The wild.
I don't know, this is your idea, wild card. Yes,
someone came up with a name.
Words from the wild card.
Words from the wild card. Yeah, so UPS just purchased 400 robots to unload trucks in an automation push. Now, I don't know about the people that work at Amazon or other warehouses. They kind of probably feel like they're robots already, but get ready, because there's going to be even more to take your jobs. But that's kind of neat, because, now people don't have to break their backs unloading trucks all day.
See, this is why
great.
People, this is why you need a union. You need a union to fight the robots. That's the only thing that's going to fight the robots, to keep the robots out of your workplace, is your union. That's it.
What happens when robots start breaking company rules and have to go to HR? Yeah,
I don't know.
Robots smacked my butt the other day. Can you do something about that?
That needs to go to HR, Thomas. Just saying.
X1256, you keep harassing Thomas. Leave him alone.
Okay, did you have a stat of the week, Tony?
Oh, sure. I could share the one stat that I did today. Hold on, I got to scroll back to it. So, in all of my data that I analyzed today and threw in place, I have come up with the longest winning streak of all time in combat robotics, at least with the data and stuff that we have. So, Mini Puma, which is a 3-pound bot out of Brazil, won 31 fights in a row.
That's crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That was Brazilian.
That's a ton. It's like, yeah, literally, like there was a couple of them that had literally won an entire year of like 8 or 9 different events, which is completely undefeated in an entire year.
That's wild.
So
yeah, that is wild.
I'm gonna host my own event where I just fight like Frank. 32
and for anybody wondering, for the data that I have, because there's still plenty of data, according to James and Go, he's competed in events that nobody has even heard of before. Silent Springs' all-time record is 29 wins.
Oh my!
In a row, yeah.
In a row.
That's crazy.
I think NHRL has him at 17 wins in a row in NHRL.
Yeah.
Wild.
Again, there's more out there than NHRL. On that note,
that's a lot of wins.
That's going to wrap it up for a 2025 year-end wrap-up and 2026 look-ahead episode. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who listened, participated in the mailbag, played games, joined the Discord, and supported the show this year. This podcast doesn't work without the community around it, so we thank each and every one of you. As we head into 2026, one of the biggest things we've built, again, is the website, which is already live and growing. That's where you'll find the Robot Registry, historical stats, games like Robot Hangman, leaderboards, and a lot more coming very soon. Podcasts on the site are becoming more connected, and this is just the start of that. If you haven't checked it out, head over to HavocRundown.com, explore the site, play the games, and let us know what you want to see next. As always, you can find us in the Discord and on all of our socials, on Facebook and YouTube and all those other places by looking up Havoc Rundown. We'll see you back here next time and next year for more chaos, more data, and more combat robotics. Thank everyone for listening this year, and we'll see them next year.
Have to wait a whole year?
Happy holidays!
Whole year. Happy Havoc Christmas.
And Havoc Hanukkah.
And have one. Never mind. I'm not even gonna. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Festivus.
Good night.
Bye, everyone.